Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel and welcome back again to another painting tutorial. Today I chose another landscape painting because I just enjoy painting landscapes. I love nature. So I'll be linking in the description box below as always the reference image for this painting tutorial. We'll only be using a few colors today, if not all. I mean, most of them are familiar to I think many of us. So we have here titanium white, burnt sienna, phthalo blue, black, phthalo green, and mid yellow. You can also use cadmium yellow. So I'll be using as well today my palette knife, my good old palette knife, to create some texture on the mountains. So let's begin now, and I'll be starting this painting tutorial by sketching first the subject. And for the sketch part, we really don't need a particular color for blocking everything in. Just use any color that you want as long as they're visible to your eyes. So let's begin now, guys. Okay, so I'll be using a small square brush for this one. Again, just like the colors, the type of brush that you're going to use for sketching does not really matter. As far as I'm concerned, doesn't matter because that's not the final look that we're after for. So I'm gonna use for my sketch, just to show you, I'm gonna use, I think, blue. Okay, just tiny bit of blue, just to show you how things are gonna go. But most likely I will be painting over my sketch, so there will be some mountains, okay, like that. Also mountain here. Like that, and some distant mountains. Okay, right there. Okay, and this will be our sky, of course. So that's basically it. Okay, so it's very simple. All right, I think this is not really straight. It should be a little curvy, like that. It should be a little curvy. Okay, now I'm gonna underpaint my subject, and I'm gonna do first my sky because we love a blue, like blue sky. I'm gonna get my phthalo blue. I'm gonna add white. One of the reasons why I chose blue for sketching is because I'll be painting the sky. So it's good that I use blue already. You don't have to cover the sketch. It's actually consistent with the color of the sketch. Now if you see some bumps, that's because I'm using a canvas paper. So some of the, I think these are paper that you see here. I don't know if you can see. Right. Just color it blue. When we do the second layer later, it will be much, much better. Okay, like that. Okay, like that. Now I'm gonna underpaint the mountains, and for that, for the color of those mountains, I'm gonna use black for underpainting. maybe black is too harsh, I'm gonna mix some phthalo green and black. I'm gonna use them together, all right? So that the black is not that harsh. Okay, now I'm gonna use just phthalo green, but I really don't mind the black mixing with my color because again, we're doing the underpainting, so doesn't really matter that much as for now. Okay, for now. All right, just like that. This is the underpainting, guys. All right, now I'm gonna underpaint this side of the painting, and I'll be using burnt sienna. I don't mind the contamination by the black and the green color. It's just making my painting or my underpainting much better. In fact, I'll be using some black. Okay, again, I'll be using some green. Maybe I'm gonna add tiny bit of yellow, okay? Just to mute the green color. Not actually mute, but to make the green color a little lighter. Okay, add some browny colors. Okay, I'm gonna add some green here. Right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. And I'm gonna underpaint this area. It's like a blank land part, meaning there's not so much grass in here. So I'm gonna get my burnt sienna, okay, and then titanium white, like this, tiny bit of yellow, like this, tiny bit of black. All right, like this. And I'm gonna, okay, I think that's too gray. I'm gonna add more brown. These are the first layers. We will be painting over it later. But we have to identify where the grass are gonna go, where the land is gonna go. Okay. All right, just like that. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna underpaint the middle portion, and this will be the water, and these two will be the distant mountains. So I'm gonna do the water first, although they have the same color. They're like muted light blue with some hints of green to that. So I'm gonna use the existing light blue color that I have here. I'm just gonna add tiny bit of phthalo green, like this, and tiny bit of black to tone down the color. I'm gonna try. Maybe I'm gonna add more black. Maybe this color. All right. I'm gonna apply it using horizontal motion, or by doing horizontal motion. Of course, for those tight areas, I cannot really go horizontal because I have to follow the shape of the curve. All right. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of black. Okay. I have to make this quite darker because of the land or the mountain. So it should be a little shady here. Right, like that. Now I'm gonna underpaint the distant mountains, and for that I'll be using the same color mixture, only that I'll be adding more black. Okay, I'll be adding more black and then blue. Okay, so it's like this color. Maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of green. And I'm gonna try it out. I'm not really sure if this is the right color. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white. Let's try. Okay, maybe this is the right color. So just make your mountains look natural by making the edge or the edges irregular. You don't want to make like perfectly curvy mountains. It looks unnatural, right? If it's too perfect. All right, like that. Okay, so basically that's the underpainting, and you kind of see already where things are going. So now we go back to where we started, and that is the sky. Okay, so we're going to go back to where we started, and we're going to do, I think I'm gonna do a second layer of light blue. So I'm gonna get my titanium white and then phthalo blue. Just mix them. I'm gonna try to make another layer. Okay, it's smoother now. You can tell already that some paints are still wet, but I really don't mind because I can simply paint over it. Okay. Alright. Okay, now I'm gonna use my palette knife. Okay, so get your palette knife and we go to the next portion, which is detailing the mountains. So I'm gonna get my phthalo green. Okay, I'm gonna add my mid yellow. I'm gonna add burnt sienna to tone down the color. All right, If you have green oxide, I think that would be good, because this is basically green oxide, but I kind of want to show you how to mix colors. So I'm gonna use this muted green color to apply or do some detailing on the rocks or on the mountains. Like that, okay, just like that. Okay, then I'm gonna go down. All right, and then let's go here. We're basically just applying textures. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black. And I'm gonna apply that in the same manner. Okay, just like that. All right, just like that. And now, before we do some grasses, we will be detailing the back or the distant mountains. So I'm gonna clean my palette knife, and okay, I'm gonna get my phthalo blue and black and white. Let's try it. Okay, so using my palette knife again, I'm just gonna do the same thing and apply some colors. Okay, the white is mixing. And I'm just doing this to apply some textures. Sorry. All right. Just like that. And now, since it will be really hard for me to add details using palette knife, I'm gonna switch to my ordinary square brush and redefine that distant mountain. Okay, just outline it. And the purpose is to clean as well the edges, because we kind of ruined the edges when we use the palette knife, or at least I did. I don't know you, but all right, like that. And maybe I can all right, I'm gonna get more black. I'm just gonna add more depth. To some areas. All right, like that. Then I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. Okay, I'm gonna add white. Sorry, that's blue. All right. Let's just finish this. Okay. Also on the mountains. Hints of browns, like that. Okay, like that. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna close that because it doesn't seem like. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black. Let's create some shadows. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna allow things first to dry. Let's move back to the sky. So for the sky, I'm gonna get my white. Okay, the brown is mixing. I think I need like fresh white. Fresh from the tube. Okay, because the other colors are mixing. So I'm gonna get my white and then I'm gonna add tiny bit of black to make it gray. To make some gray color. Maybe this gray. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe this gray, okay. And I'm gonna dry brush, okay. Let's make some clouds, guys. All right, like that. And now the fun part, I'm gonna get my pure white. And we will be dry brushing again, just using pure white this time. And we're gonna go inside and out of those gray lines. Kind of blend the colors together, but make sure that the gray and the white or the pure white are still showing. Don't over mix. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna water down my white and kind of glaze on some areas. So I'm gonna add pure white on some areas, not on everything, but just on certain areas and quite randomly too. All right, just like that, and then we will be going back to the clouds later. For now, let's just allow that to dry and set in. Okay. Now I'm gonna use some light blue color. Okay. Just add white to your blue, and we're going to make some highlights on the water. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm gonna get some dark blue colors. Okay. Now let's go back to this land area before we go back to the mountains. So I'm gonna get some light brown. I'm gonna mix my white and brown. And I'm just gonna highlight some areas on the land portion. Very random, guys. We will be covering a lot of surface area here with some foliage. We'll be doing some grasses, but just scatter this light browny color. Okay, just like that. And then now I'm gonna add some foliage. I'm gonna use my fan brush. We'll be using it dry. We're not gonna damp the fan brush, and I'll be using some black and then phthalo green. Just mix them together and just go and create those grass like brush strokes that we normally do when it comes to my landscape painting tutorials. So just make sure that you go randomly. Don't do any particular pattern for this one. Imagine you're outside, you really don't see the grasses in a particular manner or in a particular pattern, because that's how nature is, right? They're quite random, which makes them really, really beautiful. For now, let's do black markings before we do the highlights, and we'll be using more greens. For now, let's just create some depth and shadows using our black. Or you can actually use dark green, but I'm using here black. All right, just like that. I'm gonna make this area quite dark, right? and also here. So I'm gonna make the corners quite dark to give my painting sort of concentrated visual effect, which is the center. Now I'm gonna get my green and I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, now I'm gonna get my yellow, mid yellow. And I will not really overdo the yellow color because we kind of want it to be more natural. You know, when you go up in the mountains, you see those portion of the mountain that are not really perfect. There are some browns and greens. It's not just yellow, guys. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna and I'm gonna, oops, the white is actually mixing, but again, I don't mind. Let's just go for that. It's already there, so I might as well use it. I'm gonna mix it with white. Why not just use it really? Just making things work for me and not the other way around. Okay, I'm gonna get more black because, yeah, it needs more depth right here. All right, and then I'm gonna water down this black, and I just want to create that. Yeah, you see that? You see what I did there? That natural look on the surface of the land. Very natural. I don't want it to look like it's perfect soil and all that. And then I'm gonna get my green oxide or the mixture of green that we had here for the palette knife. You can rewind the video if you want. And I'm just gonna add some patterns on the mountain. I'm gonna add brown. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing right here. I'm just gonna add some hints of brown because again, I really don't want this to be perfectly looking yellows and greens because it's not really real, okay? And I'm gonna add some highlights of browns over here. Okay, again, some light browny color. Oops. Also here. Okay, I'm gonna get my black and I'm gonna do the same thing. All right, I might need more black. Just to redefine the mountain because it's not really, all right, just like that. Oh my God, this is so good. I did not expect that. I think I've said that many times, like I always don't expect a certain painting to end a certain way, but it kind of does, so I'm happy. All right, like that. I think I need more highlights here, so I'm gonna get my white and I want to highlight this area. I want to highlight it because the light is actually hitting this area. So I want it to be more light. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna get some yellow greeny colors. Okay. I'm gonna add white just to highlight some of the grasses. Okay, I think I need to darken that area. So I'm just gonna darken it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to some greens. I hope you can still see, okay? Okay, like that. Now I want to finish this by adding more clouds or making my clouds look more like the way I want my clouds to look like. So again, I'm gonna get my white and gray. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna get my gray. And I just want to make it look more natural. Okay, now I'm gonna get my blue and then white and then black. Okay, I'm gonna add more white, so I need more black. Okay, I'm gonna try this one out. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Right. Yeah, that's what I like it. That's how I like it, actually. Oops, that's too dark. Right? I really like this one, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna use my white, but I have to water down my white, and I think just to lighten some areas. Okay, like that. Okay, again, I'm gonna get my white and kinda highlight. Not too much. I'm saying kinda, but what I meant was don't overdo it. Okay. I'm gonna highlight the distant mountain. Just use some light brown color. Like that. All right, wow, this is nice. Right, guys, so I'm just gonna define the water line. Right, like that. Okay, some clouds reflections like that. Oh my gosh, I love this one. I'm gonna get some yellow. I think I'll be adding some bits of yellows. Okay, and some browns. And some dark greens. Okay, like that. Hints of greens over here. Some dark colors. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so nice. This is so nice. What do you think? I think this is beautiful. Okay, I'm just gonna use some white again. I just want to create some highlights on the water. You can skip that, but I want to do it. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. So I think I have to sign this now. What do you think? I think I have to sign this now, but I'm still kind of obsessing about the clouds. Okay, that's too much obsessing. That's why. Okay. Still want to add more highlights. Like that. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. All right, I'm gonna sign this now. I really like this one, guys. So I'm gonna use my white and I'm gonna sign right here. Okay, I changed my mind. I don't want to use that brush for signature because it kind of destroyed my... I'm gonna use a more steady brush. Okay, yay, we're done. We're done, guys. Yay, I hope you enjoy this one. It's a very simple landscape, but I kind of like it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you like this one, and I hope you do this one as well. If you like this video, like it. There's a like button right there, so like this, right? It's located on the bottom right of this video. So like this video, share this with your friends so that the other people know that I exist. See you in my next video, guys. Love you.